Every year on June 26, thousands of activists from all corners of the world take to the streets under a common banner: Support, Don't Punish. To understand why, we need to do a little history. 6 decades ago, the international community met to decide how best to address challenges related to drugs. Debates were based on prejudice rather than facts and monopolized by powerful countries from the global north. The agreed consensus vowed to combat the evil of drug addiction and gave rise to repressive policies that have been destructive for communities worldwide. Support, Don't Punish believes this war on drugs is actually a war on people who use drugs, people living in poverty, communities that are marginalized and live in situations of vulnerability. To fight back, the campaign mobilizes and builds the capacity of affected communities and allies to hold authorities accountable, and to demand fairer drug policies grounded in health, development, and human rights. The campaign's yearly high point is the Global Day of Action on June 26, officially the UN International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Governments have used the day to showcase their contributions to the war on drugs, with numbers that have little bearing on people's well-being: imprisonment, seizures, and increases in the budget of repressive forces. In some places, beatings and even executions have been part of the commemorations. Support, Don't Punish reclaims the day to shift its narrative, from violence and coercion to compassion, respect, and empowerment. The 2019 Global Day of Action was the biggest so far, and we should all be proud of what we've accomplished over the last 6 years. From activities in 44 cities on the first day of action, all the way back in 2013, to thousands of activists organizing a wide range of creative, impactful activities in 261 cities of 92 countries in June 2019. In Bekasi, Indonesia, women who use drugs, cannabis activists, and formerly incarcerated women marched hand in hand to call for an end to gender-based violence and demand drug policy and prison reform. In Nairobi, Kenya, community allies organized a successful meeting with parliamentarians who agreed to put harm reduction and decriminalization in their committee's agendas. In Mexico City, youth activists and artists raised awareness through a festival featuring talks, harm reduction services, live music, and the participation of a young parliamentarian. In Beirut, Lebanon, regional networks of people who use drugs and allies deployed massive billboards and organized an advocacy training to strengthen campaigning efforts. In Kiev, Ukraine, a coalition of people living with HIV, sex workers, and people who use drugs underscored the impact of war on drugs on the HIV epidemic at the footsteps of the president's office. Beyond our growing numbers, the Support, Don't Punish movement is also building bridges between communities severely affected by the failed war on drugs. People who use drugs, people living with HIV, women, subsistence farmers, sex workers, LGBTQ+ people, and many more. All coming together in solidarity to engage decision makers and raise awareness of the need for a new approach among the media and the public. All part of the same collective call for drug policies that promote social justice, gender equality, good governance, and inclusiveness. To know more about the campaign, join our movement, and show support, visit supportdon'tpunish.org. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Slack. And join the conversation with the hashtag #SupportDon'tPunish. The time is now. Let's end the war on drugs.